turn this way. So, come on in, come on in. I hope that y'all are well. Surprise. I'm live at night. I want to drop in and do a quick live. Come on in, come on in. I hope that y'all are well. Happy Magnetic Monday. Put a 1 in the comments if you can hear me clearly as I send this out really quickly. Going to a quick evening. Come on in, come on in, come on in. I'll make sure I send this out to everybody. Hello, lovey. Thank you so much for the gifts. Come on in, come on in, come on in. We're talking about something real. We're talking about fake self-mastery and how it is really killing. Thank you, my love. How it is really killing a lot of your spirit. Okay? Let me see. I'm trying to get this to update. Oh, I have to sign in here too. Hold on 1 second, y'all, so I can get it updated on my iPad. Let me know in the comments where you're watching from. Where is this? Okay. Yeah, I gotta connect to the, I'm traveling. Well, I'm not traveling, living. I'm somewhere else, so I have to connect to the Wi-Fi on this, in this hotel. That's what I'm trying to say. Connect now. Come on, come on, come on. Put my hotel in here and my last name, and boom. Let me know in the comments where you are watching from. There we go. Today we're talking about, again, fake self-mastery and how it positions you literally to not feel safe in your success. A lot of women don't feel safe in their success, and they've made a lot of money, they've done a lot of things, but they don't feel safe in their success, and it's a problem. I don't think this is connecting. I'm gonna have to use my computer. I hope not. Don't get on my nerves. Okay, I think it's updating now. There we go. Good deal. All right, y'all. So we're talking specifically today about how fake mastery keeps you from feeling safe. And I'm going to start off with this stat because I need women to really understand how serious this is, because I think a lot of women don't catch it and they just don't get it. But I need you to know that only 12%, and this is a stat that I read recently, only 12% of women who achieve like great things, start making a lot of money, whether it's in their business or in their life, only 12% of them feel safe in their success. Okay? And I'm going to tell you why, and I'm going to tell you why right now is critical for you to literally stop performing. I'm in the DMV area currently. Okay? But I'm getting ready to leave the DMV area tomorrow. So a lot of people have been like messaging me or, you know, kind of reaching out to me saying like, how are you feeling with everything going on? Like, are you okay? Are you good? I'm like, child, I'm great. I'm amazing. Like, y'all are stressing and y'all are worrying. Hey, best girl. And y'all are like allowing yourself to be consumed with fear-mongering content. And my thing is, if you are saying that you are a believer, none of these things should really rock you or shake you. You should be in a space where you should be clear enough to be able to hear what your next move is going to be. It's real simple. So all the rigmarole, like, aren't you scared? And I'm like, and I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this. And I want you to hear what I'm saying. Or in fact, I made a post yesterday on Facebook and I said it. Let me explain something to you. War. Let me tell you something about war. War and a battle is not the same thing. Okay? I'm going to give you a little lesson because I can't say too much and I'm not going to say too much, but I'm going to tell you this. War is not an act of impulse. Do you hear what I'm telling you? It is a strategic and expensive experience. I need you to understand what I'm telling you, because I'm telling you something without telling you something. War is not impulsive. It is a strategic and an expensive experience. In any war, I don't care if it's a war between you and another individual, a war within yourself. What you need to understand is this: there is an art and a science to every single war. Okay? There's an art and a science to it. You might want to read The Art of War. I'm just trying to put you on game. Okay? There's an art and a science to any war. It is foundational that is there. But I'm going to tell you something that you really need to catch. Okay? Arrogance coupled with underestimation is what's going to catch you slipping every single time. Do you hear what I'm saying? Arrogance and the underestimation of your opponent, your refusal to study your opponent, is going to catch you slipping every single time. You are and hear me when I say this. A lot of y'all are like, you're not worried? You're thinking too small. Try to tell you something without telling you something, and I hope you're catching it. You are thinking too small. You are thinking too small with people in countries that are playing chess and playing the long game with the intention to win. They don't make emotional moves. Do you hear what I'm telling you? The moves are going to be strategic, and the moves are going to be centered around things that are expensive. Anytime there's money involved. So stop with the panic and start with the positioning. Because last time I checked, when stuff was going on in those wars, people still had to get out here and get it. People still had to get things done. You're still going to have to mother. You're still going to have to make money. You're still going to have to do things. So you need to position yourself to focus on what is priority and what is important right now. And that is you aligning yourself properly to receive what it is that you need to receive so that you can do the things that you need to do. Okay? So stop getting caught up with all this emotional stuff. Stop making up rumors and saying, oh, they're going to hit this, they're going to do that. Y'all are thinking small with, like I said, countries that have been planning, that are strategic, and that literally are playing the long game. Y'all are worried about the wrong thing. Get focused on what you need to get focused on. A lot of y'all are leaving, a lot of y'all doing a bunch of complaining and whining about how you want to leave the country. It take money. It take money. Okay? And if you align yourself properly with the aligned monetization path for you, that's an alignment for you, instead of performing for a paycheck or performing for a client to pay you. If you get into the frequency that is aligned for you, and you are operating from the space of your aligned monetization style for your life, the money will come a lot faster and you'll be able to make more moves. Money allows you to have decisions, make choices. See, money gives you options. Do you understand what I'm telling you? Options. Hi, love. It allows you to have options. So you need to get yourself in position, and some of y'all need to turn the TV off. You need to turn the news off. You need to be uninterested on you hit uninterested or not interested on some of the things on TikTok. You are allowing your mind to get clouded. You are to keep your mind on things that are above, like it tells you in Colossians 3:2. You need to focus. You need to not sway to the left or the right. You got things to do, checks to collect, but you're not going to collect any cash flow to do anything, to make any moves, if you don't calm down internally and get yourself focused. Exactly. Quiet the noise so you can stop the nonsense. Okay? So, with that being said, we're getting into how fake mastery or fake self-mastery is why a lot of women don't feel good in their success, and how you're not going to be able to continue to perform the way that you are performing. Do you understand what I'm telling you? You're not going to be able to be fake. See them jobs, the 9-to-5s that y'all got that's making money, but y'all sick? Those things and businesses that you hustling yourself, you're not going to be able to compete with AI. You are going to have to level yourself up. And you can't do that and try to manifest or sustain something when you're still acting and performing in spaces that you don't need to. You're still code switching. You're still people pleasing. You're still out here trying to get validation externally from people, and it is causing you a problem. You need to be focusing all your energy on what it is that you are supposed to be doing. Because when let me tell you something, and I'm going to say this, and it's the last thing I'm going to say on that part. When that bell rings, hear what I'm telling you, because you going to know what I'm saying. When that bell rings, you'll be able to move because you have options. Do you understand what I'm saying? I want you to study natural disasters and the history of them, and people who have waited to the last minute who did not have options. What ended up happening in those scenarios? You need to get focused. You don't got time to perform. You don't have time to play. You need to get serious, and you need to get in position. You need to get your health together, because you may not be able to go to the hospital. And you need to stop playing. Everybody see, it's cool. You could be outside. See, and I've been in the DMV outside. But guess what? I'm getting what I need to get and doing what I need to do. I'm in position. Okay? So the thing is, you need to be in position. You need to be able to hear, and you need to be able to move. And all that performing, all of that has to go out of the window. All that people pleasing, it has to go out of the window. In this season, but this last 6 months, I've been telling y'all didn't I tell y'all? I told y'all the second half was going to get wild. I told y'all this. I said this in the beginning of January. I don't know who remembers who was on the live, but I have been telling y'all for a while now. I told y'all in January, the second half of this year was going to be hot. And baby, in summertime, it ain't even been here but 2 seconds. We didn't already have it. We didn't already had some. Okay? So you need to be focused. You need to be paying attention. You need to be centered. Because that is the only way that you're going to be able to operate from your aligned monetization path. You were saying this since last summer. They don't be believing me. I don't know why. I don't know why until the last minute. I sure said it. I've said this several times. It was going to get hot from June to December. And I've also said that we're sitting in a window right now. People are going to, it's 2 spaces we are about to enter into, and I need you to see it. It's people who are going to be making decisions that are going to position their family for forward progression, their lineage for forward progression. And there are people who are going to position their lineage for poverty. And if you position your lineage for poverty due to your decision making in this season, you are positioning your lineage to become the new project, to become the new experiment, to be all of those things. See, when you at the bottom of the food chain, they experiment on you. That's why they call it project. That's why they called it the projects, because it was an experiment. And unless you want to be at the bottom being experimented on, you might want to get yourself in position. Especially if you have a family, you have children, you have all these things. Stop waiting on your family. Thank you, my love, for these gifts. If you are the oldest daughter, like myself, okay? If you are the oldest daughter like myself, some of y'all going to have to make some decisions on your own, and your family not going to understand. They're going to understand later on when they see the fruit and they see the things that come from the decisions that you make in this time frame. But you might have to make some decisions, and you might be on your own with those decisions. And I need you to understand it. And I need you to be okay with that. I need you to really be rooted in your faith so deeply, so bad. Because a lot of y'all like to quote Hebrews 11:1. I'm talking about they need to be tattooed on your heart, on your mind, in your spirit, and everything. Every time you get a feeling on the inside of you that makes you question, that needs to be the first thing that comes to you. Period. Because some of us, a lot of us, have to step up to the plate because our parents are not going to do that. They come from a generation where, everything was you go like this and you do this and you do it like this and this is the order. That didn't work for us. A lot of us are millennials. That didn't work for us. So you're going to have to make some serious decisions when it comes down to your lineage. Is it going down into the hell states of poverty, or are you positioning them for forward progress? And all of your decisions need to be in alignment with that. Thank you, my love, for these likes and these gifts. I'm so serious. So what I'm talking about today, all that performing, it gotta die. The performing in you needs to die today. And I'm not even being funny. Y'all need to get rid of it now. You need to get rid of the people pleasing, because you need community and you need money in this season. Period. Said me and my husband just talked about this. All praises to the Most High. While you're right on time, I feel like the Noah in my family, but I will leave no one behind. Listen to me. My family know it too. Child, I will get up and I will go and I will throw my, let me say this too. I am one of those type of people to where I will throw myself in the fire because I already know I'm the flame. See, just to remind myself that I'm the flame, I will throw myself intentionally into the ocean and swim for my life because that is who I am. So me being positioned in a new space, I'm going to figure it out. The Most High is going to have a pathway for me. And it is going to benefit my lineage, my family, and all of that. If they don't see the vision, that ain't their business. It's my vision. It's the vision that was given to me by the Most High. And that is what I'm going to follow. It doesn't require permission, approval, or anything like that. It requires me to obey. It don't require understanding. It wasn't a three-way conversation. So the people in your family do not have to understand. You just need to obey. And a lot of times the Most High will position you to do something. You be like, hold up, you want me to just buy one ticket, a one-way ticket and go over here? I don't even know nobody. But see, you don't even know that when you get over there, there's probably an entire community waiting on you. You don't know. And you won't know if you don't get yourself in position so that you can hear. But in order for you to do that, you have to stop performing. Okay? So let's get into, like I said, what we're talking about today. Okay? Only 12% of high-achieving women, or women who have achieved great things, either whether it's in business or whether it is, in career, they've made a lot of money, they've broken all these cycles. Only 12% of them feel safe in their success. 88% of women are leading, launching, and scaling. They're all unraveling in silence. All of them. And they don't even realize why. Because they're like, I have all these things. I've been able to do these things. Why am I still not happy? Why do I still not have joy? And then they say things like, okay, well, maybe you have imposter syndrome, something that ain't even real. Don't get me started on that, but hold tight, I will in a second. Now you're operating from a space of burnout. Now you're in this thing, you're in your villain era, you're trying to rebrand. But all of these things are surface symptoms. Burnout is a byproduct of you dishonoring and self-sabotaging and abandoning yourself. That is what burnout is. That's the byproduct. Burnout is the byproduct of that behavior. Okay? Thank you, my love, for these gifts. That is why you burn out. The real cause of all of these things, the imposter syndrome, that's fake. Thank you, my love, for these gifts and these likes. The burnout, that really is a byproduct of what's happening internally. Your so-called villain moment or rebrand moment, which is really somebody pissed you off and now you feel like you got the energy to go do something that you should have been doing from jump. Because if you would have been doing it from jump, you probably wouldn't have to even be in no villain era. Let's get into it. But the real reason behind all of this is literally that your nervous system is dysregulated. And you disguise it as ambition, as you going hard, as you hustling, as you doing this and you doing that. When in reality, you are quietly, and I mean it's real quiet. It's real subtle. You are eroding your capacity to lead without exhaustion. You are exhausting yourself. Let me tell you something, oldest daughters. You about to be the new matriarchs. Let me tell you something, oldest daughters. You are finna be the matriarchs. You don't have time to be exhausted. See, you're exhausted because you believe that you need to do everything for everyone. And you have no business. You have no business. You have your own assignment. You have no business being exhausted by everything that's happening around you. People who are exhausted lack the ability to prioritize self. And that's the main issue. When you prioritize self, you understand that your spiritual health, your mental health, your emotional health come before your mama. Your spiritual health, your mental health, your emotional health come before your children. Your spiritual health, your mental health, your emotional health comes before your family. Your spiritual health, your mental health, your emotional health comes before the money. See, you miss that. You miss all of that because you got to be there and do everything for the family. What a faulty belief. What a faulty belief that it is your responsibility to be the martyr for able-bodied adults. How ridiculous is that? Be for real. I really want you to think about that. And a lot of times, women who are in this space, you're praised for your presence. But beneath all of that, your nervous system is really overloaded. You're constantly overstimulated, constantly overwhelmed. You're admired for your calm, which really is paralysis because it's not peace. It's really paralysis. It's not peace. You're the regulated one according to everyone else, but it's really rehearsed. It's not regulation. You try to look like the bigger person because you done did so much and you done got so far. So I'm just not gonna stoop down to that level. When in reality, you're not really regulating. You're performing. You're performing. Your nervous system is literally forced to hold success that your soul hasn't even integrated. You have not even fully accepted the value of who you are. But you get mad when people don't recognize you. You don't recognize yourself outside of a performance or a bonus or maybe getting a client or getting some money or doing this. That is the only way you get recognized, because when you were growing up, you never got recognized unless you were performing, unless you were doing something good. And this is why this transfers into relationships. And when you meet someone, a man who wants nothing from you, he doesn't want you to do anything. You don't really know how to handle that because you're not really allowing me to help you. You're not really utilizing me. You're not really doing that. See, that's the performing you had to do when you were a child. Masculine men don't need you to perform, sweetheart. They need your essence. Good evening and good night. Hello. Because your essence is heavy. When you are heavy in your essence, your presence has so much value. You have so much insight that they want to seek from you. Your gifts are open. You're like an open portal. They always want to drink from your well. But when you are performing, they are repelled by that. Because let me tell you something. This is why I always explain to women, I don't perform for men. I don't perform for anyone. Okay? And the thing about it is, I don't perform for men because there's always going to be someone who does that. Not I, though. Not I. I don't think that don't work for me. And I have no problem telling you that doesn't work for me. So if I don't perform in life, I'm not going to perform in a relationship. And this is what a lot of women are doing. Because your soul hasn't integrated the success that you now have attained, what's happening is you have chronic exhaustion. What's happening is that you're becoming emotionally numb. What's happening is that your leadership is fragmented. What's happening is that you're disconnected from your feminine core. That's what's happening. You're violating your own feminine design. That's what's going on. You're violating your own feminine design by choosing performance over presence. You're choosing hustle over your authentic rhythm. You're choosing force over flow. And you have no power because of it. Let me move this thing so I can make sure I'm staying in this light. There we go. You have no power because of it. And if you have no power, you have no impact. And if you have no impact, let me say this, if you have no power, that means you have no influence. If you have no influence, this means you create no impact. If you create no impact in a society of where we're going with AI, that means you create no income. Ding, 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 ding. Y'all are not thinking enough. If you have children, are you prepared to hire your children? Do you have something set up for them? Because you do understand the school system finna be different. College, y'all don't even get me started. I'm about to tell y'all too much. Are you preparing? Can you hire them in your business? Y'all think they finna go work a 9 to 5? Huh? Really? Y'all think 9 to 5 is gonna be here? By 2027, it says that, in a stat that I read, most people are going to be forced into entrepreneurship because the 9 to 5 model is going to slowly disintegrate. By 2030, the whole 9 to 5 model is going to look a whole lot like how Amazon was doing those shifts that you can pick up and you can go do this. People are going to be working in shifts and different things like that. That's if you can afford to even have a vehicle. See, they are positioning your replacements. If you are not at the top of your skill set, or if you do not have a skill set that a robot cannot mimic or anything like that, you are going to be in trouble. They are creating all this AI and all these robots because they're going to position themselves and outsource them and get rid of you. That is the plan. Are you not paying attention? That is the plan. Thank you, love. So if you want to keep violating yourself, by all means do it. But the hardworking hustler is not going to be the one making money in about a year from now. The hardworking hustler is not going to do that. The woman who's going to be making money is the woman who knows how to magnetize. The woman who monetizes like a muse. The woman who is operating from her own aligned monetization path. If you are not doing that, if you are not operating from that energy, you are not going to be able to attract more income. And that is going to, the more you get in that cycle where you can't get something, you start getting down. And then your energy starts getting off, and money is really not attracted to you because money is an energetic experience. When you think about money and how you even spend money, I want you to really think about this for a second. Even when you spend money, right? When you spend money, you are looking for something that A, you value, 2, something that's in alignment with whatever it is that you're looking for at the moment, and or 3, something that is going to make you feel better. Money is masculine. Men and money do the same thing. The same thing. They lock in with you for the same reasons. But see, with men, because men have short-term goals, and I'm going to say this, men are short-term thinking versus a lot of women who are in their feminine are long-term thinkers. They're legacy thinkers. You know, they understand that positioning. Most men are short-term thinkers, which is why when they first meet you, the first thing they want to do is they want to find the quickest way to, okay? They're short-term thinkers. So the thing about it is, with money and how it works, it locks in with you with value, alignment, and high vibrational state. Let's take this over to men, the masculine. A man locks in with you. Hear what I'm about to tell you, because it's a slightly different. It's the same, but it's slightly different. Men lock in with you for how you make them feel high vibrational state at that time. At that time now. Don't you forget the at that time. This is why they can switch up. This is why it can switch up. Because their short-term things can shift now. So at that time, if you making him feel good and it's a high vibrational state, he might lock in at that time. Okay? Second thing, if he sees value there, if he sees value in what's happening right there at that time, okay, he gonna lock in. If you are on this, with what he values at that time, you got it. He gonna lock in right then at that time. If whatever is going on is in alignment with his goals and what he wants to achieve in that moment, he's gonna lock in at that time. So the money is the same way as the masculine. Alignment, high vibrational state, and value. If you're not being invested in as a woman, you are either not valued, you are either not in alignment with that man's goals, or you don't make him feel good. He don't see the value. Ain't no high vibes. He ain't in alignment. And that's what you have to pay attention to. And women don't catch that. They're like, well, if this man, he doesn't do anything, he doesn't invest, baby, he don't he doesn't see value. Or this not in alignment with his goals. Or you don't make him feel the way he feel like he need to feel in that moment. Same thing with money. She says, if I had it right now, I'll pay. My courses do accept client Affirm and Afterpay. I accept client Affirm and Afterpay on all of my courses and my programs. So if you click the link in the bio right now, everything that's on there you can get with client Affirm and Afterpay, the magnetic wealth blueprint, and monetize like a muse, and the muse activator as well, which is my 6-week program. Okay. But you need to pay attention to that with money. If you're not getting money in your business, one of those 3 elements is off. Hey, my love, one of them 3 elements is off. Either money is not, whatever you're talking about isn't in alignment with money. Like, it's not attracted to it, meaning it's not in demand. Nobody's looking for that. So if nobody's looking for it, nobody cares, nobody sees value in it, which is why people don't buy in. Same thing when it comes down to, what was I going to say? Same thing when it comes down to value. Okay? If that value, it doesn't seem like it's a valuable thing, money's not going to be attracted to that. If it's not in alignment, money's not going to be attracted to that. So it is the exact same thing, and you need to understand that. So I want you to pay attention. If you're having money issues right now, you're having blocks in your business, there are some things that you probably need to pay attention to, because money is a flow, which is why you hear terms like water terms when it comes down to money, a bank, currency, all of those things. Money should be a flow. So when it's not a flow, that means that there is something in the stream. There is something blocking the stream. You understand what I'm saying? There is something blocking the stream. There is something blocking the stream. And normally it's internal. So a lot of women are in positions where maybe they've kind of hit a cap. They've made a certain amount of money and they can't seem to get past it. It's because there are blocks in the stream. Okay? So like I said, let's go ahead and get into why this is happening, why certain women only, you know, only 12% of women who achieve at a great level, why they are the only ones who feel safe in their success. Hey, my love, because 88% of y'all do not feel safe in y'all success. And it's because you're performing. You got to code switch to get the money. You got to people please to get the money. You understand what I'm saying? You gotta seek validation and approval to get the money. That is why a lot of you are not making the money. You're not in the right energy. And you're thinking, well, let's just say you work a very corporate, high-level job, right? And you're making six figures. Like, but if I leave, then I'm not going to make no money. Well, if you stay, you're not going to make the money you want or ever feel like it's enough. So pick what you're going to do. Either you're going to get in alignment with a aligned monetization path for you that was designed for you, or you're going to continue to perform for a paycheck. I mean, hey, and let me tell you something. You can't outperform a robot. How about that? How about that? You can't outperform AI. How about that? So the best thing that you probably could do is tap into your true gifts that you have probably, thank you, my love, for these gifts and these likes, that you have just pushed away and that you don't think are gifts, that society has told you is not important and nobody's going to pay you for, that literally were placed within you, because it tells you in scripture that you have creative and witty inventions in your very being. So the fact that you don't have money is because you are blocking yourself. You are blocking yourself due to your non-belief. Little faithless, but you swear up and down, faith is the substance of things not seen. You will quote Hebrew 11:1 like you really out here living this faithful life and you ain't. That's gonna get revealed. Thank you, my love, for these gifts. You little faux Christians, you little faux believers, you're gonna get revealed in this season. Because there's gonna be some things that it's gonna be some reality checks. You should not be that tied to that. Like I said, you're pretending to be the regulated one when in reality it's rehearsed. Regulation is not real. Trying to look like the bigger person performing. All these things. Praise for your presence but crashing behind closed doors. Admire for your calm but really paralysis because it's not peace. And even the whole acting like you the bigger person and you're not stooping down to that level. This stuff right here is not mindset, it's hustle. It's not mindset, it's not hustle. It's boiling down to your biology. It's boiling down to your nervous system, period. Your nervous system can't hold this stuff. It can't even hold the success. You don't feel comfortable. Why do you feel like an imposter? How you feel like an imposter and you done went to school and got all these degrees and that's the first thing that come out of your mouth? That's the first thing that come out your mouth. You're so happy and excited to talk about it. It's the first thing that comes out of your mouth, but you feel so uncomfortable being seen and having real success. What does that mean? What does that mean? Thank you, my love. What is that? Like, really, let's get into it. Because you really need to pay attention to it. Are you going to continue to keep violating your feminine design to perform? And the thing about women who perform in a space of the work element also perform in relationships. These are normally the ones who allow people to quote half or misalign scripture to try to make you stay in relationship with family members or with people or not have boundaries with people just to be a good person. A lot of people who claim to be believers are really performing Christianity. A lot of people who say that they are believers are truly performing Christianity. You want to look like a good person. You want to look like a good person. You want to look like the one who just has it all together. You want to look like the one who is just so poised. Thank you, my love, for these gifts and these likes. You want to look like the individual who is doing all of this when in reality, you're being phony and you're being fake. You're being phony and you're being fake, and it's choking the life out of you. The dishonesty you have with yourself is choking the life out of you. Let's get into where society is heading and why you need to hurry up and stop performing now. Because it's really not a joke. It's not a joke at all. Like, I wish I could say a whole lot more on this app. I'm not. But I will be talking more about this in my private community, the Muse Activator. I will be telling them. Because I can't get banned. I don't want to get banned. But I'm telling you, you need to be paying attention. We're living through a seismic shift, okay, in culture and in leadership right now, okay? Another recent study basically shows that over 70% of high-performing women report symptoms of chronic stress that's linked to nervous system overwhelm, okay? At the same time, what you got to understand is this: the world is demanding more. They don't give a damn about y'all being sick. Perform. They don't care about you being sick. Run, you horse. That's how they see you. Do you understand that? Do you understand that? I really want you to see, because a lot of you think that these corporations and these things that may be paying you or scenarios that you're in, they really care about you. They don't care about you. They do not care about you. They're not concerned about you at all. At the same time, while women are overwhelmed, having all these womb issues, constantly being sick, fibroids, this, that, yada, yada, yada. At the same time, you know what these corporations and companies are doing? You know what they're doing? Demanding more. They want more innovation. They want more visibility. They want more resilience. They want more impact. And you ain't got no energy to give. See, you can't even show up for the aligned monetization path designed for you because you're too busy performing for a paycheck or performing for pennies. Performing for pennies. How dare y'all get on this app talking about, I just want to make 6 figures. I just want to make $100,000. $100,000 is the poverty line. Do you not understand what's going on? Do you not get it? Do you not understand that you have millions of dollars and so much money locked within you, but you sleeping on it? You want to play with it. You want to bounce back and forth. You want to manifest here and then go back to scarcity mindset. You need to make up your mind that lukewarmness going to have to die. And do you know why it's a big deal to be, for you not to be lukewarm? You know why that's a huge problem? It's a problem for you spiritually first, of course. Because that shows your inability to make a decision. That shows your battle between your flesh and the true reality that you are a spirit being having a human experience. See, you live so much in your human experience that you forget that you spiritually have power. You forget that. You tap completely out of that. You tap completely out of that. Out of your position, your given position, you trade it out for panic. You trade it out for panic due to piss poor programming because you allow anything in your gates. You allow anything in your ears. You allow anything for your eyes to see. And you wonder why this society is walking around with all this anxiety. Y'all out here singing songs about it. Like, please, make it make sense. And you wonder why you have blocks when it comes down, blocks in your stream. I want to create streams of income. Baby, it's it's rocks in your stream, babe. At this point, we can't even get a drizzle from your stream because there's so many blocks in there because you allow any and everything to stream through you. Y'all be missing it. There's power of life and death in the tongue. These words that they use, streaming music, streams of income, the flow of things. Why do you think, we're not thinking? We're not thinking. And we wonder why the math ain't mathing. But the math seems to math for so many, but it don't seem to math for you. Because you're not paying attention to your stream. And you're allowing anything and anyone to swim up and down your stream. And you wonder why there's so much debris and trash and blocks and everything that stops the water and from flowing through. You get no flow because you let any and everything through your stream. Through your stream. Do you understand that when you listen to something, that is a pathway? When you listen to music, and I haven't taught on this in a while, I'm not going to stay too heavy on this. But when you listen to music with no words, it enhances your creativity. It slows down time. Time is a concept. I'm not even going to get on that today because y'all ain't ready. It slows down time, which is why you get so creative and you're able to execute the things that you're executing. You're turning on that music thinking, oh, I'm finna jam and make it easy. I'm finna do this while I'm cleaning. It actually makes it easy. It makes you more focused. It does this. When you have no words, the right side of your brain is activated, which is the creative side of your brain. When you are listening to music with words, this is what is happening. The music is going to the right side of your brain, but it cannot expand your creativity due to it needing to process linguistics on the left side of your brain. So it needs to process the lyrics. And the left side of your brain is responsible for language and all of these things. What does the scripture say? There is power of life and death in the tongue. You know that song that you hate, that you keep singing because it keep coming on the radio and it's so repetitive, but you hate the song, but you keep singing it over and over again. You catch yourself in that space. Why? Because it's got a hold to your stream. straight through the ear canal, bouncing against the eardrum, which is sending a signal, a message to the brain. Say, hey, we have an incoming message, and the incoming message goes over here. See, y'all not paying attention. The math is not mathing, which is why the math ain't mathing for you. And you don't realize these programs are the reason why you perform. Y'all remember the time frame, probably around when Rick Ross came out and everything was all about hustle, all about this, all about that. You remember the time we had the jump during the pandemic when everybody started talking about making six figures and entrepreneurship and breaking generational curses and doing this and doing that and yada, yada, yada. Y'all put these things on your back and made them your identity and wondering why they are breaking you down like a fraction. Wondering why we have womb issues when you are blocking your own creativity. Because let's get into it. A womb that is blocked, coming from a woman who used to have a blocked womb. I had an issue of blood for about 22 years. Had a regular cycle for about 22 years. Got myself together and listened to the Most High. In 6 months, my cycle been coming consistently. I'm 41 years old. I have a cycle that is no longer than 4 days. And baby, what is cramps? Don't have them. What we talking about here? Sore breast ain't having it, because sore breast actually means that you are low on progesterone. They told you that was normal, huh? Go look it up. They don't be telling y'all what's up. They get your money. They don't be telling y'all what's up. And it's not intentional. It's what they've learned. See, you're going to have to stop performing and really put yourself in position if you want to win in this next season that we're already in, truthfully. Okay? So, like I said, society is still demanding innovation. They're still demanding, visibility and resilience and impact. Okay? No, it's not. It's actually someone on here right now, Dr. Eli. You can actually talk to her. She can be able to support you actually with the endometriosis. She has some products and she has some services and she has some coaching programs. So I would tell you to reach out to her. Okay? So like I said, with society demanding all the things that they're demanding, they want more innovations from you. They want more visibility. They want more resilience. They want more impact, but they're not willing to give you more. But what you need to understand is this. The old, you're welcome, love, the old push harder, hustle harder, nonstop model, you are watching it collapse right now in front of your faces. You are watching a system collapse in front of your face. You are watching a system collapse under its own weight. The culture clock is literally ticking faster and faster every single day. If you don't act, if you do not act, the cost for you is going to be catastrophic. Okay? You're going to have emotional exhaustion. Y'all worried about a war. How you think you're going to function if you're emotionally exhausted? If you have stalled growth? If you have fractured relationships while this is going on, and you ain't got no influence to create no impact, how you think your life gonna be? How you think your life gonna be? And let me tell you something. Do you understand that to be poor is a curse? Poverty is a system that was set up. See, to be poor is a curse, though, especially if you are a believer, because it tells you in Scripture that the Most High will supply all of your needs. It basically talks about how you've never seen the righteous begging for bread, or you've never seen the forsaken. So what I'm trying to understand in my mind is, what are y'all worried about? See, it be the faithless for me. It's the faithless for me every time. It is the faithless for me. What are you really concerned about? And this is about to sound funny, but I'm not being funny. Well, no, I'm not being funny. I'm being serious, but it's going to come across as being funny. While everybody was getting these notifications about what was going on, like I told y'all, I'm away and I'm in the DMV area. So when everything was going on, they were getting notifications about what was going on and yada, yada, yada. People were texting me. You know what I was doing? Do you know what I was doing? They was texting and sending all this. I wasn't stressing. I was swag surfing at the African American Museum in D.C., having a good time museum hopping. Why? Why was I doing that while everybody else was in a panic? Because I know who the Most High is. And I know the Most High's will is going to be done at the end of the day. And what I also know is that no matter the time of the hour, I'm rooted in the Most High. So whether I'm swag surfing at the African American Museum or whether I'm laying on the grass grounding, if it's for me to roll, I'm going to roll. And the Most High will going to be done. What are y'all afraid? Like, what are we doing? What is the panic about? really make it make sense to me. Like, what do y'all believe? Like, it's so awkward to me. It's so fake and phony. It's bringing me back to the pandemic with y'all fake and phony believers. It really is. Oh, we're going to have to do this. You got to do this. You got to do that. Stop getting on my nerves. Stop getting on my nerves today. I'm for real. Don't do it. And did you think I left? Did you think baby, I didn't leave until he was playing the DJ was playing Squabble Up out the door. You understand what I'm telling you? I didn't leave till 11 something. That notification came through hours. Everybody, if my sister even texted me and was like, when are you coming back? I texted her back. I told her when, and then I said, don't worry. I love you. Let me tell you, baby, go on. I don't allow people to put fear in me because fear is not of the Most High, and it tells you that in Scripture. What is wrong with y'all? Where are you where are you in your relationship? Because what is all of this about? Really? Y'all are not new to this. You're supposed to be true to it. A lot of you grew up understanding it. You just didn't think none of this was going to happen in your lifetime. Well, guess what? Here we are. What you finna do? Cry about it? Whine? What are you going to do? You going to get in position? Because let me tell you something. Anytime there is war, there's always money around. Every single time is money around. I just told y'all last year, I've been telling y'all for 2 years, the Creator Fund is supposed to be up to $480 billion by 2027. You think people still ain't gonna be making money? Are you gonna be in position to receive some is the question. Because y'all really, you're playing too much focused on the wrong thing. Child, I'm like, baby, don't text me no message. Don't text me no fear. Don't tell me nothing about don't get on no plane. Don't tell me none of that. Because one thing for sure, I have a relationship with the Most High, and I ask the Most High before I move. You understand what I'm saying? Before I even get on any plane, Most High, allow, protect and shield. Allow your will to be done at the end of the day. Whatever you want, I'm with. Whatever the Most High is on, I'm with. Because the Most High knows more than me. I don't know enough. I ain't heavy enough. So whatever the Most High has planned, the Most High knows greater and better than me. So I'm not begging to do anything but to simply say, let your will be done. At the end of the day, I know that it's going to be for my good and for your glory. So what I'm not finna do is stress myself out about it. What I'm not finna do is go buy up a whole bunch of stuff. Why are y'all doing that? And why y'all going to buy a whole bunch of stuff in just in case for it to be burned up? Like, y'all, come on. Be for real. I want y'all to really be for real. Where is your faith? Probably locked up behind your performance. Let me get to this next point, because your feminine design requires, and what you need to understand is this: your feminine design, the cycles of rhythm, rest, renewal, this isn't optional for you as a woman right now. And I can't afford to take a break. You can't afford to take a break because you're doing everything you ain't supposed to be doing and ain't focused on the main thing, which is yourself. Last time I checked, it says you are to love your neighbor as you love yourself. Do you love yourself? Is your life a reflection of you loving yourself? Do your children see that you love yourself, but you love your children so much you die for them, but you won't live for them, will you? You won't step into the fullness of who you're supposed to be for them, will you? That's a little bit too much, right? But you'll go to war if somebody say something about them. How about you take care? How about you give yourself first pour so that you can pour into other people? I'm so exhausted. I'm always helping other people. That's because you don't help yourself. Don't piss me off. Because you are literally playing yourself and want to position other people to be like, well, why y'all not help? Why y'all? You're not helping yourself. You're not helping yourself. Nobody is going to meet you in that space. How are you asking for provision in an area that you don't provide for yourself? That's why you don't meet providers, and that's why you don't meet protectors. You don't provide for yourself. You don't protect yourself. And because you don't do that, nobody is willing to stand in the gap with you. Nobody's willing to stand in the gap with you when you are a liability. I just told y'all from the beginning, the masculine, again, invest in what they value. Are you valuable to them? Are you valuable to yourself? Are you in alignment with yourself? Do you feel good about yourself? Then hell no, don't nobody want you. And nobody want to deal with you either. Nobody. You are commanded to love yourself. What is the problem? You out here looking for all forms of love and trying to it starts here, sweets. And I've explained this before. Love is a two-part element. It is self-love is a fire element, and the love you seek externally with other people is a water element. Thank you, my love, for these gifts and these likes. It's a water element. You want love? You want the water element of love? You want the ocean type of love? You want to be drowned in it? Set yourself on fire with self-love. Set yourself on fire. It is the confidence of self-love. It is the energy of a woman who understands her essence. It is a woman who understands that she operates in power. She don't need to force. That woman is always sought after, always invested in, always, somebody's always looking out for her. Y'all know I'm a digital nomad. I travel everywhere. I'm solo. And everywhere I go, there is someone ready to support me and help me. Everywhere I go, I meet someone who is in a space, who is magnetized to me, who comes and invests. This is not no joke or a game. Work on yourself. Raise your vibrational state to the point to where raise the fire. The water will come. Raise the fire and make the fire so magnetic and so magnifying and so alluring, because you pour so much and you keep adding lighter fluid to the fire that the water chases you. That's what you miss. That is what you miss. Okay? So you need to grasp that. I need you to understand that. You are seeking something outside of yourself that you have to give yourself first. Nobody is giving you anything that you are not giving yourself. And it is dishonorable for you to ask. It is. It's dishonorable for you to seek it or ask. It makes no sense for you to seek a provider when you don't provide yourself with love. It makes no sense for you to claim nobody wants to keep you safe. You don't keep your own safe. You have no boundaries. Don't piss me off. You don't have boundaries. You let men run the play. One thing about men that you have to understand as a woman, it is not a man's responsibility to manage your field. It is you who need to have the boundaries on your field. And if you don't, they going to run the play every time because you allow space and access for that. And that is your issue. You allow people to run the play. Thank you, my love, for these gifts and these likes. You playing yourself. You are playing yourself. So important to understand. Nobody can play you without your permission, your participation, or the fact that you simply are not paying attention. And if you are performing an image, if you are performing in a perception because you don't want people to see you for real, if you are performing to get validation or people pleasing, performing code switching, then there is no way for you to be able to operate the way you need to operate, and you are going to exhaust yourself. How long do you think you can wear that mask? Wake up. Wake up. You don't need to be doing manual labor or mental gymnastics to manifest and sustain the things in your life. You are doing nothing but manifesting monstrosities of a mess in your life when you really can be calling forth miracles. It makes no sense. Get in position to receive the ball. You are literally the catcher. Alignment is you being the catcher, but the catcher has requirements. Catcher got to have the right material. Catcher got to be at the right spot. Catcher got to be able to catch the doggone ball. My clients catch checks. They don't cash them. They don't run. They don't chase them. They catch them. This is how my clients make big financial jumps. I've supported clients in going from 5 figures to 6 figures, 6 figures to multi-6 figures, baby, from having zero to going into consistent. I got a client she's setting herself up. She's finna hit her first 6-figure year. It is not a joke. And we're taking her from 0 to 6 figures with the system that we've been using. It's not hard. Getting money is not difficult. The problem is you're not in position to receive it. When you're making statements like, I need to make more money. No, you need to position yourself to receive more money, which means that you need to increase your value enough for you to be able to articulate that value. That value needs to resonate so well with your audience so they want to invest in that because they see you as an asset. They see you as an expert. They see you as a thought leader. These are the people that's going to be in position, because it's going to be a set of people who are going to rise up, who are not going to be doing certain things and having to work hard. They're just going to be spiritually in tune. See, the real influencers, the new celebrities are going to be people who are going to be able to do things that AI can't do because they're truly tapped into the one that created them. See, when the Most High makes examples, you ain't confused. Ain't no machine or nothing can do it. And I'm going to tell you something. And this showed me something. I was in Terralingua, Texas. Right? And it's like 60 minutes from Mexico. It's beautiful. I was staying in a cave. And I was staying in this beautiful like cave. And when I went outside, it was like I swear to y'all, I have never seen this many stars in my life, baby. I cried. It was like 500 stars literally over my head. I was like, this is insane. I have never seen this. I have got to take a picture. I took 20 pictures, y'all. All of them were black. When I tell you the eye of a camera cannot connect, it cannot compare to the eye that the Most High put in your head. See, I was able to see them with my visual eyes. But when I tried to put a man-made mimic up to the creation of the Most High, and I tried to take pictures of it to replicate it, the sight, so everyone can see my view, I couldn't do it. Because there are things, I don't care what they create on this earth, you cannot mimic the Most High. This is why these false hormones that they give you and all these things, it cannot mimic your hormones and what the Most High has truly done in your body already, which is why it tears your body up. That's why birth control tear your body up. Because it's a mimic of what the Most High, it gives more and it's stronger and it throws the body out of balance. Next thing you know, you think you're attracted to something that you ain't. Because birth control throws your hormones off and you find things attractive that actually aren't attractive to you in real life if you weren't on it. It throws your pheromones off too. So it actually throws off what's attracted to you as well. See, the fake you can't manage what you want. You're going to have to step into the full version of yourself. No mimics allowed. And as you continue to go on, you realize that you can't last wearing that mask. Hey there, you can't last wearing that mask. It's not possible. Okay? It is not possible. So ignoring what I'm saying to you, all this performing, trying to get pennies, trying to get a paycheck, or whatever the case may be, that is really going to die out. You continuing to ignore this is literally self-sabotage disguised as ambition. I'm telling you, you're going to have to magnetize wealth. And the only way for you to magnetize wealth is to operate from the aligned monetization path for you. And a lot of y'all have been doing what society told you. Go into, get a 9-to-5, do this and do that. How has that been working for you? How are they treating you? See, I talk to women who make 6 figures who are working at these positions and these jobs. And baby, they're exhausted. I had one client tell me the whole C-suite at the top had to get their wombs removed. They was that stressed. See, what you don't realize is when you work against your feminine design, that womb starts to act up. And your womb is a wealth creation station. Okay? Literally and figuratively. You birth things from that place. There's a connection between your womb and your brain. During one phase of the cycle, your brain gets sharper. You have more creativity. If you don't know how to tap into that, you could use that to make a whole lot of money, but you don't understand that part of yourself. You're not in tune with that. This is why when you come into the Muse Activator, my 6-week program, you return to essence. You return to power. Okay? And this is how we do this. This isn't, the Muse Activator is a 6-week program, but it's not another hustle strategy or a productivity hack, or this is how you're going to get stuff done. Absolutely not. This is a return to your original design. This is a return to your original design. Okay? Where rhythm and power coexist. You are not a man. Masculine success is very linear. They have to follow a direct path. It is not like that when it comes down to women. We are cyclical. We operate on a cycle. Rest, renewal, those things are very important. If you do not do those things, you throw the body out of balance. She said, this is why I miss my period. I want y'all, stress throws the body out of balance. This is why a lot of women say, they'll say, I didn't get my cycle, but I've been really stressed out. Stress causes imbalance. See, we've been hearing that since we was kids, but we didn't put 2 and 2 together. We didn't put the math together to realize that emotional stress, chronic stress, throws the body out of balance and it makes you sick. It is not normal for your cycle not to come because you are a cyclical being. As a woman, you have 2 clocks. You don't have 1 clock like men. Men have the 1 clock that we share, which is the sun clock. That's the 24-hour circadian rhythm clock, where every organ is charging every couple of hours. You also have a lunar clock, which is why that's what makes us different in that sense. This is why men sometimes tend to lack understanding with how we operate, because they don't have a moon clock. So they look at it like you're just being emotional, when in reality you're dysregulated because you're not in tune with your moon clock. you're not in tune with your moon clock, so you don't know how to regulate. You don't know what you need to be eating. You don't know that you're losing vitamins during this time. You don't understand these things. You're not eating the certain things you need to eat during your phases, and your body is out of balance. This is coming from someone who used to be 100 pounds heavier. I used to be almost 300 pounds. I used to be almost 300 pounds. It was insane. My 20s and my early 30s, I spent so much time being fat, and I wasn't even a fat kid. And that had me so out of balance. I was losing my hair. My hair is really long under here. I was losing my hair, all that kind of stuff. All because I was imbalanced. And it was because I was stressed. I was heavy in my masculine to the point to where I started growing hair like a man. What's the symptoms of PCOS again? Let's get into it. We get a little hairy, right? And I noticed a common theme with women who had PCOS, coming from someone who used to have it. I noticed a common theme that those women tend to overwork. Those women tend to suppress their feminine energy. They normally have to stand up and be the one. And I see it a whole lot in oldest daughters. I see it a whole lot in women who have the pressure of having to lead, or the first of this and that. I see it a whole lot. It's a pattern there. You're not paying attention. What about coming 8 days earlier? It got to be stressed. I can't necessarily call it with that. You have to be clocking your time to see. It could be a multitude of things with that. But when it comes down to the muse activated, this is what's going to happen in that space. We're going to repair your nervous system from the whole performance trauma. Because seeking validation is performance trauma. You know what else is seeking validation too? And a lot of women don't realize it. Asking someone, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Asking someone, do I look good in this? Asking someone if you look good in the outfit, I'm going to tell you why that's valid, why that's validation, okay? Some people are like, well, I just need an extra opinion. No, you don't. The issue at hand is that you don't know yourself. That's the issue. You don't know yourself. You don't know the 4 things about yourself you need to know as a woman. Well, what's that? You don't know your face shape to know what hairstyles and makeup look the best on you. You don't know your body type, so you don't know what clothes look the best on you. Anybody can look amazing. Every woman can look amazing when she knows her body type, she knows her face shape, she knows color theory, and she knows her angles. If you know those 4 things, you ain't got to ask nobody, do you look like nothing? You going to put that on, and when I say you going to put that on, the energy that you going to feel behind it when you put that on, oh, you going to know you that girl. You don't need to ask nobody. You won't even be looking for no man to tell you. And the energy you going to have in that, people are going to pour into you, be like, girl, you look so good, because you're going to be glowing. Y'all be missing it. The real external validation comes from internal validation. If you don't validate yourself, don't expect nobody else to come in and validate you either. It makes no sense. Y'all are requiring things from men and other people that you don't give yourself. And you wonder why you stressed out. You wonder why you out of balance. You wonder why you looking crazy. It's because you haven't activated your inner muse. What is a muse, Elle? I believe that women are muses. Not everyone is going to tap into their muse energy, but I understand that. But a muse by definition is a source of inspiration. A muse is walking art. She's walking art. And she inspires investment. When women come to me and make comments like men don't invest in me, I'm like, that's because you haven't activated your inner muse. You don't inspire him. Move around. See, men have an investor mindset in general. So they invest in things they feel like they're going to get a return in. They invest in things that they find value in. Again, we talked about this with money. Remember, money in the masculine. They invest in things that where they see value. If they don't see value, they don't invest. So if they don't see value, move around and focus on investing in yourself. Focus on leveling your value and being an asset to yourself. That energy alone is going to magnetize people into your space because you're going to start radiating according to the law of radiation. What is within you is going to radiate out. And that's what a lot of you are not realizing. You feel like you don't like your life, you don't hate all this, but your life is an extension of yourself. You always meet yourself. And I think that's the thing that people really need to realize, because people think that they are, and I talk about this several times, even when it comes down to people who are saying narcissists and all this and all that. Thank you, my love, for these likes and these gifts. When you're saying someone is a narcissist and you keep attracting narcissists, you don't realize that they're not, you don't realize why you're attracting them. You're attracting them because you mirror them, but just a different way. You mirror them. And a lot of women really don't realize that you are literally mirroring him. You know what a narcissist basically outsources their power because they don't believe that they have power. Again, belief issue. Belief impacts biology. Biology influences the way that you behave. So when a narcissist believes the only way that they can get power is to outsource from other people, use people, get supplies, then that is what they do, okay? Here's why you keep falling for the okie doke, because you are also the narcissist that you despise. And let me tell you how. Because what you are doing is you are outsourcing power as well, but you're outsourcing love as a power. You're doing everything and shape shifting and changing yourself and doing all these things to get this person to love you, to give you love, which is a superpower. It is a power source. And why are you doing this? Because you don't believe you have love yourself. I say la. You don't believe you have love yourself, so you outsource it. You try to outsource love and you try to get it from other people. You try to do things so people will love you. And when they don't love you and use you up, you want to say they're a narcissist. Duh, duh, duh. But y'all doing the same thing. Y'all both don't believe that you have power. So you're trying to get power from other people. What makes you different? You're not. You're not different. You are not different. You are meeting yourself. And if you keep meeting a narcissist, that means you are not cleaning the mirror. And that's your problem. You're not paying attention and you're not cleaning your mirror. This is why they keep coming into your space. You are attracted to them because they see themselves in you. They see these things in you and they want it. They want the power source. They're going to use you up and they're going to be done. Use on the same type of time, just on a different energy. They want power in the sense for their reason. You want power, outsource power in the sense of love. And it's damaging and dangerous. Again, that comes from performance trauma. A lot of women who fall for narcissistic men or narcissistic friends or narcissistic experiences are performing. Y'all perform. See, and I'm going to tell you why also you perform too. You weren't taught about who you are at core as a woman. See, women at core, and I'm talking just in general, all of us are manipulative at core. But see, manipulation has two definitions. There's a light side to it and there's a dark side to it. See, one element of manipulation means to skillfully manage skillfully and to utilize and manage skillfully. That's one end. There's nothing wrong with utilizing and and managing skillfully. As a woman, you're here to manipulate energy. That's it. Y'all are taking manipulation and manipulating people. And that's how you keep getting played. You're performing. You're doing all of these different type of things to try to get something, and it's not supporting you. You're getting exactly what it is that you are calling in. And I don't think you understand it, and you're not grasping that. But you bask in stating that you are a good person, when in reality you are not a good person because you're not a good person to yourself. A person who is a good person is a person who is good to themselves first. And there should be evidence that you are good to yourself. So a lot of women believe that they're such a good person when in reality you're manipulative. When you don't get your way, you guilt trip. Manipulative. See, you don't know how to manipulate energy. You don't know how to pull your energy back. You're going to argue. You want to use your argument to manipulate the person. Women at core are manipulative. Men at core are exploiters. That's why they run the field when you have no boundaries. Touchdown. That's how they see it. Okay, you gonna let me run it? I'm so serious. And y'all need to be thinking about this. I want you to think about yourself as a football field. Let me help y'all out. Okay? Because we're not thinking. And y'all need to you need to be thinking in 22. In June, from June to December, you need to be thinking. I'm trying to tell you something without telling you something. You need to be thinking. Okay? As a woman, you need to think about your energy as a football field. I'm about to give you the best example. Your energy is as long as a football field. Okay? And I want you to imagine you got the area where you can do the touchdown. You got this. You got that. You done gave this man the ball. He see an open field. He about to run it to a touchdown. If there are no boundaries, if there is nothing to block him, he ain't trying to... See, this is the thing that y'all don't understand. He ain't even trying to hurt you. Let me say that again. He ain't even trying to hurt you. He ain't even trying to hurt you. But it is in his nature to exploit any field that he is allowed to exploit. It is in his nature. Now, again, like manipulation, there's a light side to exploitation. There's a dark side to exploitation. The light side to exploitation is to make productive use of. A man who gets thank you, my love, for these gifts. A man who findeth a wife findeth favor in the Lord. The favor, hey, my love, the favor that is being spoken of is the gifts, the wisdom, and a whole bunch of other things that comes with that woman. That man is to make productive use of that woman. But in order for him to do that, it requires depth, devotion, and stability to do so. Ding, 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 ding. Okay? In order for him to make true, deep, productive use of this amazing favor that he's received, there has to be depth, devotion, and stability. There has to be structure. There has to be the masculine line. Line represents direction, order, and structure. The feminine represents like multiplication. We have 9 fruits of the spirit. We have 9 months when you're pregnant. Hello? These words just ain't words that was put together. This is why it tells you in scripture that there's power of life and death in the tongue. This is why it tells you that. You really need to pay attention to these things. Thank you, my love, for these gifts and these likes. You have to see it for what it is. If you allow your energy field to be open, expect people to run the play. And let me put you on game and tell you something about the society that we live in right now, this world we live in. The majority of people operate from their lower nature. So, but the majority of women are darkly manipulative, and a lot of the men are darkly exploiters. And if you don't have boundaries on your field, be prepared for people to run the play on you every time. Every single time they're going to run the play on you. Every single time, because you allow it. Again, nobody can play you without your permission, your participation, or the fact that you simply were not paying attention. Figure out where you fit in line so you can fix the problem and protect your field, because the savages are out. You're going to be bone dry if you don't get your stuff together, and I mean now. This is not the time. This is why when you come into the Muse Activator, the first week we go over, or the second week we go over energetic boundaries in your field. Because a lot of y'all play too much with what you have. And then when you end up empty, you want to be mad and bitter and blame everybody, but you don't want to look in the mirror. Nobody is playing you. You are playing yourself. Men are naturally exploiters. But I'm going to tell you something about me and what I had to come to realize, because women, naturally manipulative, men, natural exploiters. I only deal with the following. I only deal with women who manipulate energy. I don't deal with women who manipulate people. You ain't gonna last long. You ain't gonna last long in this game of life. You ain't gonna have a good quality of life if you are out here manipulating people. I only deal with men who exploit systems. I don't deal with men who exploit people. Because when you do that, it says something about your character. And your character is what keeps you in the room. And I would never be aligned with a man who lacks such integrity that his character has to be questioned. Because that means that my character is going to be questioned. So I don't deal with men who exploit people. I don't deal with women who manipulate people. I deal with women who manipulate energy. And I deal with men who exploit systems, because that's what it's really for. But in order for you to do that, it requires you to rise above your nature. And a lot of you won't rise above the vibrational state of fear, anger, guilt, or apathy, which is why you will stay in the lower region. It is why you will stay in the lower region. Because you are not willing to come up. You are not willing to rise above. You are not a good person at core. Stop lying. A lot of you think that you are good people. It makes no sense. The Most High even tells you in scripture that the heart of man is deceitful. You thought it was a joke and you thought it was a game? No, it's the truth. Your righteousness is like filthy rags. It is. Because every single day you have to fight to rise above your nature. That's the reality. Every day you got to choose to rise above your nature. This ain't something, no, this is a daily experience. This is why it tells you in scripture not to be conformed of this world, but transformed by the daily renewing of your mind. Huh? Because you gotta come up. And these are the things that we really go deep into in the Muse Activator. Like I said, we repair your nervous system from the whole performance trauma. We recalibrate your leadership from embodiment, not exhaustion. Okay? We restore your voice, your message, and your mission, and we position you to be held in full capacity. Not fragmented pieces, okay? I'm sorry, y'all. My mom is sending text messages. She the only one who can break through my things, so I'm seeing her say stuff to her. I'm like, Mom, Give me a second. Well, it's a family group chat. I'm like, all these messages keep coming through. I'm gonna mute them for a second so I can focus. But with the Muse Activator, I want you to imagine being able to lead from your essence, so that success feels natural and it doesn't feel forced. Like if you feeling like when you get up every single day and you're working your business or you're going to your high level position and what you're having to do, like you feel sick about it, you're stressed, you're this, you're that, yada yada yada, then you're forcing it. That's not power. You're operating from a space of force, not power. And you need to really position yourself for power. Okay? So the program is 6 weeks. You can get it with Klarna, Affirm, and Afterpay. You have to DM me the word. You can get it with Klarna, Affirm, and Afterpay. You have to DM me the word activate. The word activate. I'll tell you right now, the program is 1,500. Right now, I have about 7 women in the program. It is absolute. It's like a amazing. Like the women in this program, they own it. They own it and they're ready. This is for women who want to activate their inner muse. So their inner muse is invested in because a muse is a source of inspiration. She literally is walking art. Okay. So it's 1,500. You can get a Klarna, Affirm, Afterpay. You would have to DM me the word muse. If you DM me the word muse, sweetheart, what I am assuming is that you are ready to pay. So don't DM me the word muse if you're not, or activate. Okay. Don't do it if you're not ready for it. The second option I have for you is this. Okay. If you are not in a space to where you're kind of ready for that, okay, you can get, or let me say this, if you have not figured out your aligned monetization path, if you suffer with imposter syndrome and you scared to step out there on your own, then you need to get the course Monetize Like a Muse. Yes, ma'am, that's what it is. You have to get the course Monetize Like a Muse. Monetize Like a Muse is the course, has the quiz in it that my client took, that ended up allowing her to get her first high ticket client within like a couple of weeks of her taking that quiz. So her taking that quiz, and what that quiz does is called the Monetization Clarity Quiz. It supports you in figuring out what is the skill set that you have between $10,000 and $100, or that can position you to make $10,000 to $100,000. It is going to tell you your energetic profile. It's going to tell you how you work. It's going to tell you your best working style, and it's going to tell you your 3 streams of monetizable income, the way that you can make money basically in this space. Okay, so it's going to give you that, and then once you get that, you have the class that teaches you how to sell, all these different things. And then you also get 10 days of Telegram coaching, 14 days of Telegram coaching with me. Okay. And that is $497. So you can get that with Klarna, Affirm, and Afterpay. If you know the way you make your money is not the way you need to be making money, it's stressing you out, it has you all over the place, then Monetize Like a Muse is the quickest way for you to get yourself in position, and you have access to me. So I'm going to give you strategy. And most of the time when women want proximity to me, so I can say, hey, this is what can work. You can do this. For those who don't know or whatever, I built my business from the ground up. I've made, I'm multi 6 figures in my business, and I absolutely love the work that I do. And I don't work extremely hard. I literally follow the aligned monetization path for me, okay? So I support you in finding and figuring out what that looks like for you so that you position yourself to be able to make money. Women who come to work with me get 3 results. These are the consistent results that I have seen. Women who come to work with me, specifically in this chair, women who specifically come to work with me, they end up making more money, or they end up getting healthier. Because like I said, I used to be 100 pounds heavier. I have clients who've lost 40 pounds. My most recent client, Mariah, she told me like a couple of weeks, 2 weeks ago, a week ago, 2 weeks ago, she lost 20 pounds when she was in my last program. They have another client who's lost 70 pounds. And they've been able to reverse illnesses. Like I have clients who had heart damage and all these things and liver damage. They've been able to reverse those things. Lastly, my clients have been able to attract better community and better relationships, romantic and platonic. So what you need to understand as a woman, if you can get your meals together, your money, and men, if you can correct those areas in your life, that means that you've gotten to the depths of the real issue, which is your energy and motion, your emotions. That means you got your heart set together, because being impulsive with your decisions is a lack of emotional control. Being impulsive shows that you lack the ability to manage your energy and motion. So you just have to go do something. Again, another form of performing. Okay. So I support my clients in coming out of that. So if you're in a space where You know, you want to make more money. You know, you need to attract better community and better men in your space. Not even men if it's romantic. I believe that every woman should have a community of men, even if it's not, you know, romantic. They should be your friends. Like, you should have men who want to protect you. I have men who I have not been with romantically or anything like that, that support me and that protect me because they see the value of me. So when I talk about, or if I get back in a space where I'm saying, hey, I'm thinking about and these men know when if I ever get in a space where I'm like, okay, I desire marriage again, that man has to meet those men. Those men have to tell me what they see, because those men are going to be looking out for me. Those men are going to be looking out for the protection and make sure that I am going to be heavily invested in and that I'm going to be cared for before I transfer hands again. That's something I didn't do the first go around. Won't be doing it again. Okay? And I'm honest with myself enough to know that I'm not a man. So yes, I have wisdom. Yes, I can discern. Yes, I am obedient. But there are things that men can see because they understand other men that they're going to be able to tell me that I can't see. And I have to be open and willing for that. Okay? So you should have a community. You should have men in your circle, even if it's not romantic, that still want to provide and protect you. Okay? Because it's really, really important. So again, if you're not ready for the Muse Activator, you can get Monetize Like a Muse. If you're not ready for Monetize Like a Muse, but you want to magnetize wealth, I have the Magnetic Wealth Blueprint. Okay, so the aligned monetization pathway, you're going to get that through Monetize Like a Muse. If you want to be in a space where you want to operate from emotional regulation, not survival, not being reactive in survival, if you want to create wealth from stability, not stress, if you want to lead with feminine authority, not male or masculine overexertion, build relationships, opportunities, and income channels rooted in true energetic alignment. If you want to expand without sacrificing your soul, your spirit, your mind, you don't want to just learn more, you want to become more, then you want to get the Magnetic Wealth Blueprint. That is going to support you in naturally attracting, holding, and sustaining more with ease and integrity. That course is $200. You can get that with Client Affirm and Afterpay. You can click the link in the bio to be able to get immediate access. Okay? So in that course, so if you need the aligned monetization path for you, you need to get Monetized Like a Muse. If you are struggling just to attract wealth because you have attachment style issues, Little Miss Anxious Attachment Style, there's a course that is in the Magnetic Wealth Blueprint called Love in the Nervous System. It is going to help you improve your attraction in intimacy and in income. The things that I give you are rooted in scripture, backed up by science and psychology. So what I am teaching you in that course, Love in the Nervous System, is how to retrain your nervous system to receive intimacy and to receive income. If you have an issue receiving income, a lot of times you have intimacy issues too. Those two things, they be going hand in hand. They go hand in hand. So if you are struggling in that area, that course is going to support you, the Magnetic Wealth Blueprint. Okay, so those are your options. DM me the word activate if you want into the program, the Muse Activator, where we are activating women's inner muse, and in activating their inner muse, these women become a source of inspiration and they get poured into, they get invested in. That's literally how it works. They get invested in by clients, they get invested in by corporations, they get invested in by people. People invest where they see value, but you have to, one, amplify your own, know your value, amplify your value, and then be able to articulate that value so that you are so attractive that people come in and they invest. That's literally it. You have to activate your feminine magnetism. That's it. And what I'm going to do in the Muse Activator is help you activate that like that. Because it's you getting yourself in alignment that is going to make you more attractive to yourself. Like you should be so, the way you obsessed with that man and his page and the girl he dealing with, that ain't you. That obsession needs to be all about you. You need to be so obsessed. You need to be so enamored. I am so in love with me. I am so in love with me. So in love with me. So much so that people will say, it just seems like you just have, like, you love yourself. I just love your energy. I just love this because I love me. And I don't let nobody play with me because I don't play about me. So all of my actions, all of my decisions, everything is in alignment with me. Call me selfish. I don't care. If you look at the definition of selfish, ain't no wrong with it. Being self-centered is the problem. See, when you think the world revolves around you, that's what the issue is. Little Miss Self-centered. When you're selfish, that means that you are concerned with your own health, mental health, physical well-being, emotional. Like, that's what you're concerned with, girl. Yeah, I'm selfish. I love it. What you mean? The man tell me I'm selfish, child. I ain't self-centered. I don't think the world revolves around me, but I'm definitely selfish. I'm definitely about my mindset first, my spiritual health first. I'm about my mental health first. I'm about my emotional and physical health first before you. Of course I am. Why wouldn't I be? You should be that way too. I'm not knocking you for being selfish. I'm not knocking you for wanting to run the play because it's in your nature to do so. I'm not knocking you for doing it. I'm just telling you what my boundaries are. Good evening and good night. So you either gonna rise to the occasion or fall back. Either way it go, a win is a win. A win is a win. And that is what it looks like to activate your inner muse. Muses don't chase. They're invested in. Muses are magnetize people to them. Like, they don't chase. We don't do that. It's not necessary. Things come to you when you're aligned in your energy. Period. I don't chase. I don't do this. I don't shoot shots. I don't do none of that, sweetheart. I'm always in position to receive. That's what I am. I'm always in position to receive. And positioning is spiritual first. It's vibrational in that state first. Okay? So those are your options. The Magnetic Wealth Blueprint, the Muse Activator, and monetize like a muse. Drop your questions in the comments for me. I'm going to take a few questions before I get ready to go. They're not going to be a lot. So drop your questions in the comments for me. And I can answer a couple of them. Click the link in the bio to be able to get access to the courses and different things like that. If you are wanting to come into the Muse Activator, DM me the word activate. We have that 6-week program is strategically aligned. The first week you come in, you have to do nervous system work. The first week you come in, we have to do nervous system recalibration, okay? Because if we don't, you're not going to be able to receive anything that we're doing. Last week, when I met with the Muses last week, we did our intro and we kind of went through several different things. Now we're getting into the nervous system work. Last week was consistent with them operating and getting these things called the Muse codes. So I have these things called the Muse codes that you have to initiate, that are going to help you in initiating this activation before you start the program. It's 7 days of Muse codes that you're going to get. Okay, so you get those 7 days of Muse codes, and then you come in and we start immediately working on nervous system recalibration. Because here's the thing, and I've talked about this. If you are a person who's already hit $100,000, if you want to make that jump from $100,000 to $500,000 in your business, it requires mirror work. It requires vulnerability enough to allow yourself to be seen, and it requires nervous system recalibration. Because if you never made that much money, you're not going to feel comfortable with it dropping in your lap. If I tell you, hey, and you say, okay, yeah, I'm ready to do this, and I'm like, okay, are you prepared? You how comfortable do you feel with saying, okay, I want $50,000 months? Because it's very possible. It's very possible. It's very, very possible. So you have to do that work. It's very, very important if you want to make that jump from that. If you're trying to go from if you're trying to go from $10,000 to $100,000, that requires you to do inner child work. And these are things that we go over and I teach you. You have to do inner child work, okay? You have to have an identity shift, because that has to happen. Because who you were when you was making 5 figures is not who you are when you're making 6 figures. I'm telling you that from what I know. So you have to already make that shift, okay, for you to be able to do that. Because it's going to be very, very, very important. So, and then of course, if you're trying to do 0 to 10, and of course, if you're trying to do 0 to 10,000, 0 to 10,000, you have to do mindset work and shadow work. Because that's what you're fighting against, somebody actually paying you $10,000 like in a whop, because it's never really happened for you. So you have to work your mind around that. You have to do the shadow work around it so that you can receive it, so that you can jump into, okay, 100,000. I want to go higher. I want to do this. I want to do that. Money is all about positioning. Money is all about positioning and value, and you need to position yourself to receive, because it's very, 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 very important. Okay? What days and time are you on? It varies. It varies. I have a YouTube channel you can go and check out. And I'll say this too. A lot of women have been able to manifest things from working or watching my free content. But I will tell you this. You cannot sustain without coming to work with me. That's just, I mean, it's the truth. You can buy things, but if you're not in community with me, it's going to be a little bit hard for you to implement these things consistently, because you don't have everything you need. When you come into the space and work with me, we're going to have our one-on-one first. When we have our one-on-one first, oh baby, I'm going to assess you and know what's going on. And when I assess you and know what's going on, I'm going to give you a very clear pathway. I'm going to close the gap between you and that goal. Okay? I'm going to close the gap between you and that goal. So it's all about what you want to do. You can get stuff. You can manifest. Women have manifested money, clients, everything from my free content. Like, because what I teach, like, I give a lot of value. But the reality is, if you're not in community with me, might be a little tight for you to keep it going and to keep it up. Not because the system is wrong, not because the system isn't true and it doesn't work. You haven't been rooted. You're not in a space to where you have been activated to embody. See, it's one thing, and I'm going to tell you something too. As a woman who used to be, 100 pounds heavier, and a woman who used to have womb issues and all that stuff, right? A lot of women, let's just say with weight loss, a lot of women who lose a lot of weight have a hard time embodying the new body, really coming into the new body, because their mind is still stuck with the old body. Okay. And that's where embodiment comes in. This is why when you go get something like, let's say, weight loss surgery, they make you go get therapy because you're supposed to be, they try to make sure but the thing about it is a lot of people don't work on their mindset. They don't work on themselves. They don't get rooted in who they're becoming. And then all of a sudden they just got the body. So now you have the body and you don't really know what to do with all the attention and all these other things that's coming your way, or you have this and you don't really know. That's when you start buckling under the pressure. That's not even there. The pressure wouldn't be there if you built yourself up over time. If you were consistently daily renewing your mind with who you truly are, your confidence would already be there. The weight loss would just be an additional. Okay? So these are the things that we don't really pay attention to that are extremely important. So pay attention to that, okay? What other questions? Any other questions before I get ready to go? Because I'm about to go. Because I got to catch a flight tomorrow. So, any other questions? I was 471, now I'm 367. I haven't posted losing weight because comfortability. Honey, child, it depends on what you want. Now, I'm going to tell you this. It depends on what you want. Either you're going to allow yourself to be seen, or you're going to be stagnant. You're going to sit back and be stagnant. And I think, and it depends on what you want for your life. I don't know if you're into entrepreneurship or what. And if you want to get in a space where you start making, like I said, up to $500,000 in your business, to get there, visibility or vulnerability and allowing yourself to be seen is important. Here's one thing that women don't really grasp. There are so many women who are attention seeking, right? And that's not necessarily an issue. There's not really an issue or really a problem. But the problem is a lot of the women who are attention seeking really don't want to be seen. You want attention, but you want attention brought to the perception or the persona that you've created. You know what I'm saying? For other people to come in and accept, because you don't accept yourself. And a lot of people really, really don't realize that. When you're so attention seeking that you're doing things to get attention, you're trying to get them to see you as this. It's almost like the class clown. I'm going to use this example. The class clown wants you to think that they are just funny, right? The class clown wants you to just think, yada, yada, yada. But here's the thing that you have to understand that's very, very important. There's something going on with the class clown that the class clown is clowning. When a lot of times when you go and you study the class clown, normally there's an issue. I've seen it to where the class clown is clowning because they can't necessarily read. So they're trying to distract the fact that they don't understand. Thank you, my love, for these gifts. And they can't read, or it's some kind of other issue. They want to distract everyone else from paying attention to what's really happening, to focusing on the persona that they're creating. This is the exact same thing women do when they're being attention seeking. You don't want to be vulnerable enough to say that you need help. You don't want to be vulnerable enough to tell the truth about where you are, but you want attention. You want attention when in reality, what you really want is to be seen, to be heard, to be felt, to be held. But that requires a level of vulnerability that a lot of women are not willing to step into, which is why, again, they never go past the $100,000 mark, because they're too busy and they don't want to do the they don't want to do the mirror work. They don't want to do the nervous system recalibration, and they definitely don't want to be seen, because they are afraid of, if people see them, they will not be received or accepted. And that is a bold-faced lie. Everybody ain't going to accept you. Everybody's not going to respect you. But you have those who are assigned to you that are going to do so. But if you don't ever get in alignment with your authentic energy, then that's not going to happen for you. Thank you, my love, for these gifts and these likes and these follows. Okay, so I'm not seeing any other questions. This is going to go on YouTube. Like I said, click the link in the bio to get access to any of my courses. I have Klarna, Affirm, and Afterpay available for you to be able to get access to them. If you are interested in the Muse Activator program, send me the word activate. If you send me the word activate, I'm going to send you a payment link. You can do the payment process through Klarna, Affirm, and Afterpay. Once you pay, you're going to get your contract immediately. Once you get your contract, then you're going to get your pre-work. Then you get your pre-work, you can schedule your one-on-one with me. Schedule your one-on-one with me, then your Muse codes start coming in immediately. Start getting your Muse codes, because this is going to initiate into, this is going to initiate you into the activation process. Hey, love. Okay. It's going to initiate you into the Muse activation process, which is going to be very, very important. It's almost like your prep, okay, to getting you ready to start receiving these things. The problem with a lot of women of why they are unable to implement or apply the things that they are learning, even though they have so much knowledge, is because they don't know how to recalibrate their nervous system to receive. Y'all are taking in knowledge, which is making you big-headed. Okay? You are taking in knowledge, which is making you big-headed. It's allowing you to have talking points during an argument. Okay? But it's not helping you implement. This is why women get bored and go get degree after degree after degree and certification after certification after certification. Girl, because I need to do this so they can take, you still ain't started the business. Don't piss me off. You used to get all these certifications and all this stuff to prove to people that you know what you're talking about, all because you doubt yourself. Crazy work. Okay? Come on out of it. All right? All right, y'all. I'm about to get off here. I hope that y'all have an amazing, amazing evening. Thank you for joining me on this magnificent, magnetic Monday. Click the link in the bio to get access to my products and my services. And if you have any questions around my products and my services, shoot me a DM. Okay? Y'all don't DM asking me for no coaching and nothing like that, because I'm not going to respond. I'm going to tell you the truth. Okay? I'm not going to respond to that, especially if I have products and services. I don't do free trauma dumps in my inbox. I don't do that. I am speaking to women who want to rise. Thank you, my love. If you don't want to rise to the occasion, if you don't want to be intentional, to be accountable, and to be responsible, I'm not the one for you. Because that is how you're going to get results. If you want to make more money, I got you. If you want to attract better, I got you. If you want to get healthier, I got you. But you need to first have yourself. Okay? And that requires investment. A willingness to invest your time, your energy, your attention, and your money towards where you need to be. Okay? All right. I'm about to go, y'all. I hope that y'all have an amazing, amazing night. I will not be. Am I going out tomorrow? I might in the morning, maybe. After my workout, maybe not. I don't really know. But anywho, we'll see. We'll see what the Lord say, okay? Because that's how we're going to make it work. Hope y'all have an amazing, amazing night. Peace, y'all.